Hi, my name's Leo and I'm 1.5 years post-op. Welcome to another garden video. I just felt like filming in the garden today, although I'm not sure if it was a good idea because the birds are shouting at each other like crazy and a thunderstorm is coming up, so I have to be quick. Last time I shot a video in the garden, my dad complained because there were dents in his lawn afterwards, and it was my fault. Of course, I was to blame because I just stood at the same spot for an hour or so because it took me a pretty long time to film that video. So I have to be quick this time anyway to not make my dad angry again. I'm 1.5 years post-op top surgery, but as most of you might know, I had a revision surgery about 10 weeks ago, so whatever you will see later on in this video, it's pretty much the result of the revision rather than the initial top surgery. As you can imagine, taking out the stitches after surgery is always a special pleasure. About 3 weeks after the revision, I saw my doctor to have my stitches taken out. Well, not really taken out because my surgeon used an absorbable suture thread, so it stays inside. It doesn't have to be taken out, but there's a little noose or loop or whatever you may call it with a little knot, and you have to cut the thread below the knot after 2 or 3 weeks so that the thread will dissolve. Whatever. I don't really I don't really understand how it works, but this thread is absorbable, it's dissolvable inside your skin. I went to my doctor for this. Last time it was like this, but this time there was not only this loop or noose or whatever, but also lots of other ends of this thread that held my wound together. And I had asked my surgeon if they can be cut too, because there were also little knots and it basically looked the same like the noose or the loop, but there were lots of it. And my surgeon said, yes, you can cut it. So I told my doctor. The problem was that most of these thread ends were surrounded by scabbing. They were a part of the scabbing, or they were implemented in the scabbing. My doctor tried to free the thread, but we agreed on the fact that it was actually not possible to cut them without provoking a wound healing disorder. And neither my doctor nor I wanted to risk this, so we agreed on letting these thread ends stay around my areola. Then about 2 weeks after that, there was an inflammation on my left areola, or on the edge of my left areola. That was not very nice. It was after I took a shower and then I saw that there's pus coming out. When I squeezed that, there was more pus coming out. That was pretty disgusting. And I was pretty alarmed and worried because, I mean, it was I think more than a month after the surgery. And honestly, I didn't expect that I would have to deal with infections or inflammations after this amount of time, but it was like that. So there was this infection and I carefully tried to squeeze all the pus out, really carefully. And I know you probably shouldn't do that, but I have kind of a... No, I don't have a medical background, that's a lie. But I think I understand 1 or 2 things about medicine and pharmacist things. So anyway, I washed my hands, I used lots of sanitizer, and I was very careful. So I very carefully squeezed the pus out. Again, I just want to repeat it because it was such a nice thing to do. Not. And then I put a new band-aid on it. Next day same thing happened again, and the day after that, it happened again. So then I saw my doctor again, and he basically did the same like I did. He then gave me a prescription for an antibiotic ointment so that all the bacteria inside would be killed, and told me to just continue with what I had done anyway. So I had done the right thing. And then I used this antibiotic ointment for, I think, almost 2 weeks, because there was also another inflammation showing up. Um, also on my left areola. So my left areola is pretty messed up now. So my left areola looks a bit wasted now. It looks a bit battered after all it had to go through. I hope that it will heal nicely in the future. At first, the left side was the good side, but after these infections, I think the right side is the good side. Let's see how this will develop. Now it's time to show you my current chest, 1.5 years post-op, but actually rather 10 weeks post-revision surgery. By the way, this is a blouse from the women's department. I bought this about a century ago, and it still fits, and actually I didn't wear it that much back then, so it's in a very mint condition still, and since it's a bit see-through, I usually wear it with a black tank top underneath, but I'm at home, and frankly I was too lazy to put something on just for the camera. I'm getting naked anyway, so to me it didn't appear to make a lot of sense to put on a tank top for you guys. I'm sorry. This was my chest 1 week post-op. And this was my chest 1 year post-op. This was my chest 1 week post-revision surgery. And this is my chest now. The white stuff is still from the ointment. It appears to be like wax. There's still some scabbing and crust left on this side and also on this side. And look, this is one of the ends of the thread that is sticking out. Yeah. I'm still not sure if both areolas are the same size. I think this one is larger than this one. And there's still... Hi. I don't know if it's swelling or if it will stay like this forever, because there used to be this bump and it's not that big anymore, but there's definitely still a bump. And on this side as well. By the way, I recently trimmed my chest hair because my hair grows in all kinds of directions and it looks a bit higgledy-piggledy if I just let it grow, and it looks so much more decent if I trim it. So I trimmed it. The numbness is not as bad as expected. I even think that it didn't get worse after revision in comparison to before revision. I think it's about the same, and of course I don't have feeling on the areolas and around the areolas, but this whole region is not numb. It's the same like before the revision. Yeah. Since I want to be 100% honest with you and large bird, since I want to be completely honest with you and with myself as well, there's one thing I noticed when I rewatched my chest update videos. It is my personal impression that my areolas didn't appear as large 1 week post-op or 1 month post-op as they appeared like 6 months post-op or a year post-op. Do you know what I mean? It's just when I rewatched my 1 week post-op video, which happened to be the same like my 13 months on T video, I thought, wow, my areolas weren't that large actually. I think 1 week post-op or just a couple of weeks post-op, I didn't have the feeling that they were too large. I had the feeling that they were the right size. So I wonder if areolas can expand over time, or if it's, I mean, my scars weren't that obvious, so I don't think that my scars got broader or that they got extended somehow. During the course of months and then a year post-op, I had the urge to have a revision because they were obviously way too large for me. And now, somehow I have the feeling that this story repeats itself. You know from my hospital video that I was not like super happy when I saw my chest for the first time after revision. But I remember that my first thought when I saw my areolas was, wow, they are tiny. And now I would almost say that they are still a bit too large. Of course, I will wait another couple of months till I finally make my judgment. But this is my impression right now. And I just wanted to share it with you because I want to be honest. And it would be a real bummer if I went through revision surgery and afterwards I'm still not really happy about the size of my areolas because they are still too large. That would be really frustrating. And right now, I'm on my way to be that frustrated. To be honest, I don't believe that they get smaller over time. So, this is the update. 10 weeks post-revision surgery and 1.5 years post-op top surgery. Just wanted to share this thought with you. I guess I make another update video in half a year, and then let's see how things have changed or not. Alright, the thunderstorm is not here yet. That's good. Have a nice day. See you next time. Bye.